We'll be going through a series of 5 poses. First will be your standing pose, then inversion. We'll do back bends, forward bends, and end with a twist. Stepping to the top of your mats, you're going to bring your feet together. Spread your toes, ground yourself. Press your energy through your heels, feeling as though you're planting roots into the floor. Wrap your calves inward. Scoop your tummy in and up. Retract your shoulder blades, fingertips down. We start many poses through mountain. So the first of the standing poses will be tree. Let's think of our tree growing from the top of our mountain. We're going to slide the right foot, the instep towards the ankle. You're going to start the rotation in the hip from as low as the ankle. You're going to bend and grab the ankle, sliding the foot upward, pressing the heel into the inner thigh. Bring the heel where it's available to you. If above the knee is more comfortable for you, you stay there. Zipping up in the front, tightening your lower pelvis, opening the knee. The rotation happens from the hip. Grounding yourself, pulling up on the top of the thigh or the quad muscle of your support leg. Broaden your chest, open your hips as the opposing force from your heel and your standing leg squeeze together. Let the hands float upward. Take a deep breath. On the exhale, the hands come down. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, slide the leg down. Plant your foot. Be grounded. Neutralize. We're in mountain. Whatever we do on one side of the body, we're going to do on the other side. So anchor through the right leg. Spread your toes. Press through the heel. Start the rotation of the left hip. The instep of the foot is by the ankle. Reach down and grab and glide the foot upward. Place the heel where you want it. Pressing the heel into the inner thigh of the standing leg. Opposing forces. Energy from the heel meets the energy from the femur bone of the standing leg. Open your hips. Open your hip flexor. Tailbone is neutral as we pull up in the mula bandha. That perineum pulling up and bringing the stomach forward. Big breath in. Connect your breath to your movements. Hands float up. Exhale. Take a deep breath here. And on the exhale, let's slide the leg down. Parallel feet. Ground yourself. Be present in mountain. We'll be moving into an inversion pose, a half handstand, also known as Ardha Adho Mukha Vrksasana. We want to create a strong foundation for the half handstand. It's all personal, depending on your body measurements. So the easiest way I can show you how to measure the distance from the wall is creating a tabletop. Put your feet against the wall, create 3 90-degree angles. 90 degree on the shoulder, 90 degree on the hips, 90 degree on the knees. Ensure your back is flat. Spread your fingers, press through the palms of your hands, creating a strong foundation. Soft elbows, never hyperextend the elbows, but wrap your biceps into your body. From here, pressing the floor away from you, you're going to connect each movement with your breath. So as we rise into a downward facing dog, take a big breath in. We're going to place the right foot on the wall, followed by the left foot. Press the floor away from you, neutralizing your tailbone, neutralizing the sacrum, pulling up in the tummy, pressing the floor, wrapping your biceps. We've created a nice 90-degree angle on the hips. If it's available, float your right leg to the ceiling, pressing your heel upward, opposing forces. Energy from the heel to the ceiling, palms pressing through the floor. The right leg comes down, followed by the left foot. Press the floor away from you. Energy presses through the heel of the foot to the ceiling. Float it back down. Take a breath. On the exhale, bend your knees, step down, knees to the floor, child's pose. Rise and sit in hero pose, allowing your blood to come back down to the rest of your body. Our next pose will be a back bend, Locust, also known as Salabhasana. We're going to take it down to the floor. We're going to be lying on our stomachs. In this position, I want us to lengthen our bodies, creating space between each vertebrae in the spinal column. Extend your hands, extend your legs. Now I want you to feel opposing forces pulling you from your fingertips one direction and your toes the next. Really elongate your body, allowing your neck to stay very neutral, keeping the forehead down and lengthening the back of the neck. Let's lift that right leg. Feel as though someone is pulling it to the back side of the room and down. Lift the left leg, pulling towards the back side of the room and down. Lift the right hand, reach forward, creating space in between our joints, in our bodies. Left hand lengthening and reaching, keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Forehead is down. Connecting your breath to each movement, we're going to inhale, floating the hands and the legs upward. Big inhalation, engage your back muscles, use your glutes, squeeze the lower back, elongate, and exhale as we melt to the floor. We're going to do it one more time by bending the elbows to the side of the body. Same locust position with an alternative hand position. Big breath in, float, squeeze, engage, retract your shoulders, elongate your head, extend the arms, and exhale. Slide your hands under your shoulders, push back into child's pose to alleviate the tension that we created in our lower backs. For this posture, we'll be using a block. We're going to raise the floor. So this adds assistance for anybody who has less range of motion, so a little bit more forgiving. We're going to be doing a seated forward fold or forward bend, Paschimottanasana. So we're going to sit on the block, lifting the meat, releasing our sits bone. We want to ensure that both hips are grounded, both sit bones are grounded. We want to retract the toes towards our face, pulling up. We're in a deep dorsiflex, pulling up on the quad muscles so our legs are engaged, wrapping the inner thigh inward so there is strength and togetherness with the legs. Elongate your spine, feeling as though the energy is pulling from the crown of our head upward. Hands start at our sides. Shoulders retracted, squeezing back, broadening of the chest. Our gaze is neutral, eye level, chin level to the floor. With a big breath in, we inhale the hands upward. Wrap the bicep in towards the air, shoulders stay down. We're going to rise, lift before folding forward on the exhale. Intention, have your forehead meet your shins. Interlock the fingers around your feet. Collapse your elbows towards the floor. Head down. Scoop up in your belly to create space. Lengthen your spine as we surrender to this fold. A very heavy stretch at the back of the hamstrings, but we keep the knees soft. Release your hands, reaching further, pulling forward as we inhale and lift the hands to the ceiling, and on the exhale, the hands come to our sides. My final pose of the 5 poses we're doing today is Bharvadrasana 1, Mermaid. So we're going to first take it to the floor in hero pose, ensuring that your glutes are tucked under, zipping up in the perineum, pulling the tummy inward and upward, hooking the tailbone under. We're going to be using a lift for this mermaid pose. So we're going to start by dropping the hip to the right. I'm going to take it onto my lift. The lift is there to raise the floor. The purpose of this lift is to level the hips. We want the pelvic girdle leveled. We don't want to tilt. So being forgiving to our bodies, the lift comes in handy. For the left leg, which is my leg that's going to be on top, the foot, my ankle or the instep is going to rest in the instep of the other leg, which is my right foot that is flat on the floor. My hips are leveled, shoulders retracted. I'm going to float my left hand up. We always rise, lift, lengthen the spine before I twist. I'm going to use my left hand to grab the outer part of my right thigh. Pulling back on that elbow, I've already started my twist. Keeping my chest lifted, shoulder retracted and pulled down, I'm going to reach back as far as I can with my right hand. The intention is to grab the bicep of my left hand. I'm going to feel this in my right shoulder, the right deltoid. I'm going to pull it up, back, and down, and surrender to that twist. Each movement, I deepen my breath. I'll do one more inhalation, adjust my hand, lengthen my spine, and intensify the rotation by pulling on the bicep. My gaze goes over the right shoulder. As I release that right hand, I am going to lift both hands up, giving a little release to that right shoulder, and exhale. Whatever we do on one side of the body, we need to do on the other side. So I'm going to realign, reset through hero, tucking my tailbone under, pulling up in my perineum, hooking my tailbone under. I'm going to shift my lift to the other side. From hero's pose, I'm going to drop my left hip to my left. I'm going to adjust my feet as the ankle of my top foot, which is now my right foot, will be in the instep of my left foot. Both knees are on the floor, both hips are level. My pelvic girdle is level. With one big breath, I'm going to inhale and float my hand upward. I'm going to lift before initiating a twist. I rotate. My hand drops down and grabs the meat of my outer left thigh. I'm going to bend the elbow. My left hand is going to reach behind as I lift in my chest and commit to that rotation, that twist. Now, our bodies are very unequal, so I have less range of motion on this side, but I'm going to breathe through it. Surrendering to that twist, lifting my left shoulder up, pulling it back, and dropping it down to give me a little bit more space to grab the right bicep. I can feel the tightness in this left shoulder. I'm going to commit to it. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, I'm going to increase that twist. Breathing into that left shoulder as I look over. As I release the grip, I'm going to allow my hand to float up equally, being considerate to my shoulders as they needed the stretch.